secret. I like to call it the big secret.
Yes, you couldn't hold water though. You start telling every goddamn
No,
body.
that was not me. You're the one who told someone first.
No.
Yes.
Who?
Sean and Dre. They were the first people to know.
Shout out to Sean and Dre.
To know our big secret.
So our timeline is very expeditious. We're just going around and around and just trying to understand like what this love was. Was it different? Like, why did it feel like you wanted to do everything together? I told my man Al, I said, yo, Al, I get it. I understand why you bring Kim everywhere. Shout out to them, they just had a baby. Because when I'm with Shanice, I want to hang out with her. Like, I want to be with her and go places with her. And I never actually experienced that before. And so, what spurred it?
I mean, I think we had conversations about it all the way up to, December 31st was the day, and we were just like, what stopped us was because of taxes. Well, I'm trying to Google and figure out what happens with taxes.
If you get married.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, one thing we were trying to figure out is when to get married.
Yeah, well, you were saying figuring out taxes
And
if
taxes,
you get married.
If you get
even
married.
if it's the 31st, you don't have to then combine them. I mean, I think you can be married but file separately, but it's just something that you just like, how does this work?
Yeah.
You know?
My thing is, if I'm going to get married, I want all the tax breaks as possible. I don't want to lose out on anything. Or it was also saying something, I was just reading too many articles where you're getting less because of it, and if you're filing separately, it's just so much. So December 31st, we were just going to go. And when I say go, I don't think we really mentioned what we're talking about.
Yeah, so up and down about what we're going to do, the path we're going to take, knowing that we wanted to be together, and you're trying to understand, like people saying it takes more time. And I think there's something to that for sure, right? Because you still keep learning as you keep growing. But the difference is you start growing together. And I think that is what makes things make more sense as you learn them, right? Because somebody can be one way, right? But once you and be truly together, how they are may show itself differently depending on what point that relationship is at, you know? So if you stop learning about your partner, that's never a good thing. You know, you're always learning. Everybody's always changing a little bit and growing. So what led us to that date?
Honestly, I just like the numbers.
Yeah.
It wasn't even anything significant about that date so much. I think it was just the way the numbers were set up, and when you think about it, it was a Thursday. So definitely it wasn't as...
Yeah, that shit was not...
It was nothing very significant.
Inconvenient.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Friday. I don't even know if we were open on Saturdays. But, I mean, I think for me, I've always, growing up, pictured this thing where I'm going to be walking down the aisle and this big wedding and have a big party. But before meeting Hampton, I just always... things started to be clear about finances. I don't want to spend money on a wedding. And what's the most important parts of a wedding that I like. And I really wanted to highlight what I thought was the most important part, which is spending... I think the wedding itself needs to be about the person you're with, and that's what you want to put a big emphasis on, and then everything else doesn't matter. And to me, if I can be with someone without all of the frivolous things that goes on with it, then I knew this is the person that I wanted to be with. So that means it could be ring, no ring, could be all this stuff. Long as I know I can say yes to you in those, under those conditions, without having this big old... I feel like it's just this big performance, like, kind of that happens, because some women just get caught up about it, like the dress and this and the details of it. And if I can do and be with this person with less, then I know you're the person for me. And I think it's also significant because when you get married, it's only the two of us. And so I've had this idea of just being married and doing it just between two of us, a really small amount of people, but then later on really celebrating with like friends and family and celebrating as just like a big party. Nothing too stressful.
Yeah, and ours was just us two, so we didn't have like a witness or anything.
So if you haven't guessed already, we got married.
Yep, we got married February
20th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say the numbers, 2/20/2020, I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's dope, and I think it was just very organic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people should maybe look into it more, because you say yes amongst you two, you make the decision amongst you two. There's no added pressure, you know? Because I think some people can get into things and they start this big planning and don't quite understand like all the money and you know, save the dates and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, maybe
how much did we spend? I don't even know. How much was it?
$45.
45. It cost us $45 to get married.
Yep, and we wore clothes we already had. Oh, no.
No, I bought a dress.
Yeah,
I
I
sent it back down.
already had some stuff. So
I bought a dress, and him and I wanted to actually make it a day. So we're definitely going to post pictures up here, so that you guys can see some of the photos we took. And is that Hampton and I just really, within that time, really get to know. For me, allowed, when I call it the big secret, because we decided not to tell anyone. We decided on our own that this was going to be something between him and I, and we're going to be in marriage bliss, just between him and I. But we get married, and I think friends come over, because remember, we get married on Thursday. I think his friends came over, maybe.
Georgie was home.
Was it Friday? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? I know right after the wedding we went out to dinner. It was me, the baby. If we probably did it back again, I'd probably make sure we have a babysitter. But it was still cute. Like, I had my makeup on, we changed, and we went to Jasper's, and the three of us just had dinner. But the next day, he's like really excited, and we're all drinking and stuff, and he comes to me like, babe, let's tell them, go get the marriage. What do you think? And I'm like, okay. And I think it's great.
No, we showed them, the first thing we showed them was
the marriage certificate.
Nah, it was like, it wasn't like right away. Because remember we showed them something. Like it was like your social security card or something, remember?
Was it? I don't think I got, no, it couldn't have been because I didn't get it.
It was something that had mail. So we gave it to them. And remember Sean was like, Shanice Watson. Remember, he kept saying
that was a marriage certificate, babe. I didn't.
He dumb, but he not that dumb. he knows what a marriage certificate looks like. But he was like, remember, he was like, no, maybe it was Dre. It was one of them two dumb niggas.
It was Sean and Dre there. I
know, but both of them were like. They not dumb. They're not dumb, for the record.
He calls everybody dumb.
Yeah, but remember they didn't. It didn't register with them.
It didn't. Well, they had to realize what was going. And so we were so excited. Those were the first people we told, but we decided, one, if we went back, I think we would definitely redo a little bit. I mean, I like the idea that him and I didn't say anything, but there was also some downfalls because we didn't plan on how we were going to say things. For example, we didn't tell my family for a while. And so when they found out, it wasn't the way that we wanted them to find out. And that was...
It was just overthought, you know, but for righteous reasons.
Yes, definitely. And we would do it again. We would do it again the same way.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants you to be happy.
Yeah.
But you also want to make people happy. And, you know, when you tell them and they want to celebrate with you out of love, you know, but we just overthought it a little bit.
And so I think some of the pros for me of us doing it held back judgment. I know he doesn't care about what people say, but for me saying it to one person, they already had so many questions of like, well, why would you do it? Why do this early? And all this other stuff. And I was like, this is exactly the reason why we did it. We did it on our own and just help with holding back judgment and hearing anything else I've already made the decision. I just want to hear, you know what? Congratulations. I want everything to be the best. Not why, not what made you, what's the point of doing all of that, the negativity. And him and I had also formed something very solid between us prior to sharing it with everyone else.
Yeah. And just to be clear, 90% of people was just like happy,
very happy, definitely.
Like,
when I say
riding, you know,
when I say somebody's like very like a 2% chance.
Yeah, everybody was riding with us, you know. Everybody was happy.
And I love that we did because we saved money. Like, it was everything that I wanted to do. I'm like, why would I spend $30,000 on this when I can use that money to purchase a house? And guess what we did? Literally, months later, we purchased our first home together.
We started saving more money, and we bought a house in June 21st, right?
Yeah, and then we have a reception in our backyard in September, and I think that's the time where everyone thought that we just got married. But that's why I like to call this episode The Big Secret, because we've been married for about 7 months by then, and
it was good.
It was great. I mean, unfortunately to me, because of COVID, because of all this stuff, we couldn't invite as many people as we wanted, because I know there's some people that just definitely didn't invite, like some aunts and cousins.
And some people we invited flaked.
And those people.
They can kiss asses, because we could have bought people that would definitely have came. But it's all good.
It is good.
Everybody who came was supposed to be there. You know?
We had such an amazing time, and it was such a great, and I will suggest to anybody, like, we spent $5,000-$6,000 on honestly an amazing night to remember that. I can't wait to do it again. I wouldn't change a thing. I have people saying, like, you know what, this is what I'm about to do, and I just love that, because I think we need to put in the world that we don't need to spend $30,000-$40,000. I like to call it $100,000 wedding, and sometimes they don't last. But what we did is put in what we need to do into the work of our marriage